we say, oh, that's it. Oh, it's so beautiful. Angelo. Oh, that's turning my heart out. I love that. Just keep that going.
That spirit alive with me, and I hope I don't lose it. If I ever lose that feeling of that initial creativity and excitement and fun of it, well, I'll pack it in. But as of now, I love every moment of it.
Angelo Badalamenti.
Angelo Badalamenti.
Angelo Badalamenti. Mr. Lynch likes only behind forever. Messa simple, Lynch. It's February 17th, so reading only 11 days together with February and this February over the second month of 2026, and it's today middle sky represented for me middle subject is equivalent to variable subject 50 minutes fact sun or clear day substitute now alternate with the clouds or vice versa sunny or cloudy or cloud with clouds day skies transgender and also same as Vestiano aspettavo solo da one school and divi considerabile perhaps more even ancora se c'era quello divi it's or also case vice versa there is one at same time it's also vice versa no it's between later finale 14 and 5 minutes and 59 Fahrenheit 15 Celsius evidentemente gli كل الكنيسة بس فك كل سكات Jesus interview så bort för SEO och för SEO är så till effekt känt att för June 17 så att det för kan för SEO det bort så det är så samma alltså absolut så follow me men så samma fin kan bara så fakt det kan för det så garde det ut now så för winter kan man med vi pensa sempre tanto in partico anzi che senti o fuori PM in Italia ora så absolut non remember fin kan bara så bara cioè så cosa di مشهورة الطريقة سيد العلم سينجا سوسيم سوسي تنسي ما بروسا cioè che ti avevo 100 io si pettono per sparazione tratto per me la linea due su antica riesce su per lì spinga sempre minuto si fa con le spinga su si soft per esempio GT8 per auto once che neanche soft su classe in genere frusi servire sa classica GT la serie di grigli a tre famiglie questa fingo se neanche fingo tueda assoluto in compagnia abbetta notte di sibiro mi godizio winter in secondo so mi compagnia asciutto compagnia quattro when si presenta assoluto in compagnia I'm referring also to me in particolare for the superior for the tanks of vector في الكل بيت في الكليس هذا بيور tanks series of bracks in due follow since some years of practice particular and which was at the fall and nel cambio winter period winter da porto superior there was what a committee which experimentali su bracks si che rotti di first part or the first committee di nastri six of some months in the terrace no su bracks si che se tali su bracks and si che se bit or the one the first part of this committee di nastri disastris ora non fu rapio fluente infatti fin con notte cosa avere non fosse rapio con l'elite fin con notte cosa fa che il cuore l'elite fin con io per noi si pensa da fin con nanti a te sempre il cuore o avere in genere in some way for me what's good instead the battle scatto sotto stranger to I don't know che si mi dice giusto it's good out to give fa cambi fine se mi scuso diciamo magari affanno finché 3% si ripete before 59 Fahrenheit 15 Celsius ATA reporting that atmosphere at Sensibili si foto di disa se cortine invece non sono di questi se da Roma su queste cortine si sa dove ovvero se mi pidi tantamente sia cortine genere su se sono ci si mostra perfect si suppose fa cosa da ripete sky yes now you see the it's beautiful sunshine but it's a middle now come once again the clouds so I think so fact considering the trend last days consider con good read consider meditation everything I think it's possible sure that later will be maintained cioè always in this way be also in this way until the end of the day so this means the sky perhaps that would become if not totally most cloudy and also that my training effects amount this to the similar amount possibility but as well as no chance with that so it's when it's clear second screen today avrei chia well ben perhaps also contro bad well at the moment see perhaps well ben one of them so sì, da fissata al medical window, è stata curtain, questo fatto sono di forza, di summa si justify, e si start the curtain, and all difference, color, flowers, myself, in fact, color, second, zero, gold, color, stone, pink, color, the third is in situazione, similar to the first color, stone, pink, it's easy, ma in fact, non if you can see on the test, it was shot now, with me, yes. Oh, if not, even better, should have better shot the first part of the video, which Perugia showed you what is cut in general inside the mythical window, inside the mythical room, inside the mythical window, because the option is also a classical mythical room, this is also the classical mythical window, and the classical mythical room. Avere le sue sendere sopra il mitico quindi non portare in frase long frase mix tutti quanti sono portensi a stare ma non però non mettiamo sul burf di preus particolare da parte non il for sono sette uso da beautiful di cortine beautiful painted way in branch se quando passa fanno per essere cortine factory non le things che mettere si riga sono una come che sono come se come check should be pointed at the first moment or the first comment on the misery come section where you should see it very well finish shot practically semi shot show you once again just before when you see cortine and party possono dire first part of video which Perugia show you dove scatto sia in genere fatto una classical mythical quindi un classico mythical room Only for a broader perspective, also for Nissan practice a shot similar to classical shot film and entry sequel fantastic linear in over by 1002 infantry etc. should more entry sequel and for a previous curtain repeated was a beautiful grey curtain, beautiful painted white branches, perhaps also for the first curtain nostro per what's color curtain infantry etc. This should like color curtain still in cover image and one day sono vediamo ci facendo e I was saying this is shot so related the effect of one reason to grow shooter also one reason but more one reason because the efficacy measure and see the little speech center che si usa for da per lo scortino ripete il beautiful routine beautiful pentabile so che si for the scortino nostro quante forze per routine fosse che senza non exactly is now see reddit one also this new routine sorry but repeat expression saying for 5 times so this little speech or sentence it is but also always better visible for me in its entirety in the shot response mythic or legendary shot. Regarding the green shooter, throughout activism visible, the first days of October, it's important too because part of 2 days not